たち何チーム友達関西関東西東北南チーム友達チーム友達チーム友達チーム友達チーム友達チーム友達俺たち何チーム友達お好み焼き食うつる阪神腹いっぱい飯はうまい一人じゃ寂しいし電話来たりかけ直した後すぐ行く会いに
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, rabbits and raccoons, if you can hear my voice and you can see my face, we back in the building, and I got a special guest with me. This is the way you end the Q1. Let me introduce my guest, comedian, actor, content creator, one of the hosts to what's the name of it? 5 at 5?
Oh, live at 5.
Live at 5. Destiney! And then you know I got to come down here real quick. If I can find it, I have to play it for you.
Vegeta! What does the scouters say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
For sure. That boy coming in with that energy level at 9,000. What's up, bro?
Chilling, man. You know, you see this right here. I just came off of doing content and doing like a live one on another platform and just having fun, man.
Hey, man, I thanked you before we went live, but I definitely want to pay homage to you again while we're live and say I thank you for coming on. If people don't know, Destiney was one of it was a few people that I saw getting back into content creation after taking a little hiatus, and Destiney was definitely one of those ones. He had one of those, and if I could find it, I'll repost it. I think I reposted a couple of your clips at the beginning. But if I sound a certain type of way, it's because I'm trying to get over a little cold. So I apologize to the people for that. I apologize for the people. But I'm not going to take over your intro. Tell the people what you do, where you at, where they can find you before we get into the nooks and cranny of everything.
So I'm Destiney Brushes. Some people also know me as Darian Bennett. I'm on everything, Destiney Brushes. You see the name right there. I'm a comedian. I am a Dragon Ball stan, right? I am the Dragon Ball everything, Dragon Ball. And I'm definitely all into other type of anime. I'm also one of the I guess because I don't like to say host, but I'm one of the creators that is on the live at 5 every day. We're on 5 p.m. every day on 5 p.m. New York time on IG Live. And yeah, I'm just a lover of anime and a yapper. I love to yap with the people about anime. So yeah, and tell jokes.
For sure. And one thing he knows how to do more than anybody else, because I see him every time I see something that I like, he's in the comments. The boy know how to network. So if I'm giving somebody credit for anything, Destiney know how to network. If you don't know him by now, he probably liked or commented on some of your content already. So he gets busy. He was already giving me game when it comes to Instagram before we went live, and I appreciate the hell out of him. But
no problem.
I'm happy you here. I always start my guests off with asking, how did you get into anime, A, and B, what was that anime that you was just like, nah, this is it. Like this is the shit, basically. What was that anime and what was that moment for you?
For me, it's hard to even remember because it was so long ago. But like when I was younger, the first thing was really just kind of like, I feel like you start out, people make fun of like a casual. People like to be, oh, this guy's a casual. But it's like at one point, it's like you were a casual as well. And I think that to me, that's how I started out, where the first thing I remember watching that counted as anime to me was Pokemon, where it was a craze. I grew up in that craze of where Pokemon was going crazy, and yeah, there we go.
I ain't got
There we
no.
go.
I ain't got nowhere. Absolutely, hell yeah, absolutely.
There we go. I grew up in that craze of like Pokemon being so huge. That was pretty much it. But it was like I wasn't into anime. I just was following the crowd of everybody else. Other people like anime. On Pokemon, so I liked Pokemon too. That was it. And now at that time, I'm sure somebody, even though I was like 5, somebody would have been like, "Yo, look at this! Look at all of these people now getting into Pokemon." And I've been into Pokemon. I've been into anime. They probably don't even know it's anime. I know somebody probably was talking crazy about my little 5-year-old self, but guess what? That's how I got into it. So like that
You
was
are
first.
OG now.
Yeah, like that was first. And like I said, that wasn't even in the process of like, hey, I like anime. It was just everybody else watching Pokemon. I'm watching Pokemon. Cool. And that was it. I didn't even know it was anime until years later. Thought it was just a cartoon.
Facts. That's a big fact. Now, since we know what anime kind of like broke the mold for you, would it be difficult to ask you what was your top 5? Could you go through your top 5?
Oh no, I know
Like,
my top 5. They ask me
hey,
every day.
let's get to it then.
Somebody said I
Let's
need to
get to
list it because they ask me every freaking day. That's not and I'm not even mad that they ask me every day because that actually is a question that I feel like
it's almost like
is
music.
yeah, but
If you tell me your top 5, I kind of understand you as a person a little bit.
I was just about to say that it's like meeting somebody and you get to know this person. Now y'all shake hands and it's like, oh, okay, this is who this is. Hey, nice to meet you. So for me, my top 5 is Dragon Ball Daima is number 1. I'm like alone in this, but Dragon Ball Daima is my number 1, specifically Daima. Dragon Ball
Okay.
Daima. Number 2 is Vinland Saga. It used to be and it's crazy because recently Black Bummer put me onto it and was like, yo, you gotta like go watch this because they're trying to get me out of shonen brain. I had shonen brain where it's like all I watched was just
I think that's exactly what I got. So you might
you
have
gotta
to
break
break
out of
that
shonen
down.
brain. You gotta break out of shonen brain. It's important because there's so much other good stuff. Like Vinland Saga is really so good. Dragon Ball has a nostalgic thing with me, but I think if I saw Vinland Saga like first, I would have had a completely different look on anime because it's a really, really good story. So Vinland Saga is second. It used to be Attack on Titan, but it got knocked out of there. So it's Dragon Ball Daima, Vinland Saga, Hunter x Hunter. Okay, Hunter x Hunter's number 3, My Hero Academia, and then Black Clover.
Yo, that's interesting. So the past, I want to say 4 episodes, Hunter x Hunter has been in the top 5 for people.
Yeah,
And it blows my mind because I'm like, why not Inuyasha? It's the same creator. Yeah, it's like not Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho. It's the same person. The guy that married the woman that made Sailor Moon.
I can tell you why. So
Break it
Yu Yu
down.
Hakusho, I just recently was like bullied into watching that. Hunter x Hunter was another one that somebody told me like, yo, go watch it. I went to Anime NYC. I was hanging out with my boy Poppy Smiles, and he's also out of Philly, and he was telling me like, yo, go check this out. Go watch it. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. How have you not seen Hunter x Hunter? So, for a lot of stuff, I was a lot of people know it. A lot of people that follow me know it. I was locked up for like a long time. I was locked up for 14 years. So when I got locked up, anime wasn't what it is now, and people will binge things, and I wasn't able to binge stuff. I had to basically watch Toonami, and wasn't nobody playing on Hunter x Hunter on Toonami. And when you go from like, you're 20 years old, which is when I got locked up. Now it's like now I'm getting into anime. I wasn't able to like really get into certain things that were like from the past. So, I just didn't have access to that. But getting into it, I'm gonna tell you why. So Hunter x Hunter, first of all, the way Hunter x Hunter is set up is so well because it allows the whole thing to kind of like just be nebulous. It's not focused on one character. People will say that the main character is Gon, but
Gone.
Gon is only the main character sometimes. He is the focus for the majority of the story, but you have a whole arc where Kurapika is the focus, and then you have this person and you have that person. It moves around. The power system is ridiculous. The power system is great. Now, if you look
It's
at Yu Yu Hakusho,
complex.
yeah,
It's complex.
but it's also really, really, really good. And you have a lot of complex things that happen in there. And then the best thing that I always love is you have characters like what's his name, man? We talk about him all. Hisoka. You have characters like Hisoka. Hisoka is a character that changes the game because Hisoka is actually the MVP of the entire anime. And people will be like, "Oh, he's weird," and this, that, and the third. But he's actually, if Hisoka could have ended the anime in the beginning, he is their sensei. He taught them and coached them. He might have had nefarious reasons for doing it, but he coached them and assisted them in reaching all of the places that they reached in that anime. Right. So now when you have all of those complex things going on, the power system, the iconic bad guys and all of that to this day people still talk about Netero, still talk about Miriam, the crash out with Gon, Pito, all those different things. It's like, do we do that with Yu Yu Hakusho? Yu Yu Hakusho is great, but we don't do that with Yu Yu Hakusho because it's not as iconic.
I got you. I guess one of I'm trying to grow out of this. And we had a guest by the name of God's Will, and he kind of like started me on this journey a little bit. I think I'm too much of an OG, and I'm not letting go of nostalgia. Like Dragon Ball Z I put Dragon Ball Z as my number one, and it's hard for me to. I'm not gonna move because of what Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z did for me as a kid. Like, it's hard for me, but I'm finishing up with Solo Leveling, and I'm like, I can see why people put this in their top 5. I'm happy we didn't go live at 10 o'clock because I was almost in tears. I'm like, I hope he do not pop up. I'm sitting back here, and this man, mama wakes up, and I'm almost in tears. I'm like, don't come in the stream. So this is some new anime. I'm like, yeah, My Hero Academia. I make fun of my boy Is about it. But My Hero Academia is dope. In fact, I should have showed him this, but I have him just chilling back there. I don't know if you can see it. I have him chilling back there. So My Hero Academia is dope as well. But that's dope. So we got Black Clover.
I have the real MC right here. This is the real MC.
Hey. That he is. A lot of people, he is. I like the story basically because he is the true main character.
He's a real MC. I mean, he should have been the MC.
He's true. Yeah.
Or could have been. He could have. I always say he could have been the actual MC. That's what I say. But with the whole like Solo Leveling, have you read the manga? Read the manga, please. Please read. So I'll tell you this. This is why I'm telling you. I won't say that with any other thing. I'll tell you again. Shout out to Black Woman. She was like, "Yo, read the manga." Pushed me to read the manga. I read it, and I was like, and now I push so many other people to read it. Like Anime Addict is another creator that works with us, and I'm always telling him, bro, go read this manga. Because the manga is, first of all, they're cutting everything out. So you're not even seeing what's actually in the manga because they're speeding along. And the manga is really good. They cut a lot of stuff out. They changed a lot of stuff. They amped up a lot of stuff. And it doesn't make the anime bad, but I feel like you're not getting the true essence of what this story actually is. And Sung Jin Woo, the Sung Jin Woo you're seeing on screen is not the Sung Jin Woo that's from the manga. He's a completely different character. I think not completely different, but it goes deeper into his character. It goes deeper into the story. It goes deeper into a lot of side characters and stuff like that. I just think that
Okay.
I think that in order to really enjoy the show, you have to read the manga for this.
I'm ready to put it based off of just a show alone in my top 5. So
Ooh.
I have to get it.
What is your top 5, sir?
All right. So Dragon Ball Z, and then you're gonna go to Gundam Wing. I get a lot of ish about that. And then we're gonna go to Yu Yu Hakusho. All right. Attack on Titan is at number 4.
Okay.
Attack on Titan. And then we're gonna go. I'm gonna put Solo Leveling there, and I'm mixing it up only because, like I was saying earlier, I have a problem with
Solo Leveling.
Who was there before Solo Leveling? Who was there before Solo Leveling? My mind is drawing a blank. I want to say it was either who was there. It had to be one of those Toonami shows. And I'm only saying it because, again, I keep leaning into nostalgic.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. And that's my problem. No, I got it. My bad. Death Note.
Okay.
Death Note.
That's a really good. That's a really good. Death Note. I tell people Death Note is the best. Is the best starter anime of all time. If you're trying to get somebody to. If somebody asks you for a suggestion and they're trying to get into anime, it's Death Note. Meaty Mello, another great creator that's always working with us. He has a whole breakdown video of that where he's like, yo, this, I'm going to tell you why, and lays out a whole thing of why it's the best starter anime, and it is.
But for me, Death Note slips out of my 5 just because everything else is active.
Yeah,
like I'm not saying that Attack on Titan is active, but it's more recency bias for me. But Death Note was one of those. Death Note was, oh my, God tier writing, God S tier writing at its finest, and it just drew you in. It was something different than Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho. So we not fighting, but this was just storytelling at its finest.
Yeah,
so those, but. I'm trying to push myself to get out this old man mindset and discover more. So even if you got like one, I think you mentioned one, and I'll run back and play the tape over. But I'm trying to get stuff that's not in people's face. Solo Leveling is in people's face. One Piece is in people's face. Dragon Ball Z is everywhere. I got it. Okay. I got it even to Dr. Stone, and Dr. Stone is picking up steam. But
I feel like Vinland Saga and Black Clover are probably the ones in my top 5 that are like sleepers. This is my thing. People always talk about the whole mainstream thing, right? Where like if you tell somebody a top 5 and they're like, "Oh, that's all mainstream anime." Bro. People are not gonna like this. Maybe it's a hot take. Mainstream anime are better than the anime that aren't mainstream. There's a reason why they're mainstream.
Facts. Absolutely. The next one was going to be, what's your unpopular opinion? So if you want to, listen. I am a person that loves anime, but I am not a connoisseur. I'm going to be honest with everybody. I am not a connoisseur. I can't tell you what episode that Luffy did this. I can't tell you on what episode, Goku did this, but I've watched it. Like, I enjoy it. I am a casual watcher. It's been there with me since I was 8 years old, and I'm gonna continue to watch it. For me, it's just one of those things where if you're pushing it in my face, I want to see if it's worth it. You're almost doing the work for me. Jujutsu Kaisen is good, it's great, but it's not. It didn't start off like Solo Leveling did, in my opinion. Like episode 1, I'm on the edge of my seat, like what's going on. Like the whole video game concept almost. I'm like, what is going on? Jujutsu Kaisen didn't do that for me. But as the story built, I'm like, I'm locked in.
So this is why I say that. Like a lot of people will be like, what? You're crazy. It's not. It's just because it's mainstream, it's not better. The reason why I'm saying that is because people will go story. People love the story to death. Bro, that's not the only thing. So I'll give you this analogy, right? Somebody will tell me, hey, you got LeBron James. LeBron James would be the example of a mainstream. Steph Curry, those would be the examples of a mainstream. We know why they're great. Is there somebody out there who could cross over and win a game against LeBron James? Yes, there is. That's the mainstream anime. Because I mean that's the underground or the underrated anime. Of course it could cook that anime story wise. Of course it could cook it in other different ways, right?
Mhm.
Just like that player could cook them in other different ways, right? But why is that player not in the NBA? Because he ain't coachable, right?
Ah,
Because he won't put the blunt down, right? Because
yeah,
he be getting in fights. Those things are all part of being a great player. So I don't
right.
want to hear you're a great player, but then you
You're not a
people
part of
can't coach
the
you.
Power Five. Yeah,
Exactly. People can't coach you. I don't want to hear you're a great player, but it's like you can't show up to practice on time or you doing too much of
great
this, and so you
analogy.
can't
Yep.
pass tests and stuff. That's what happens with the mainstream anime. The mainstream anime, people talk crazy about Demon Slayer. And I was one of the people that
Love it. Ooh,
I would say stuff about Demon Slayer, but this is what I have changed about it, in my opinion. Demon Slayer is not mid. Demon Slayer is good, but what pushes it past that is it checks all of the boxes of what can allow everybody and all of these
oh,
it
you
checks the
cooking.
boxes of letting it blow up.
You cooking. Keep going. You cooking. That's a
And
fact.
that's what's important. If it doesn't have if you're telling me, so perfect example, just to be very concrete, because people was like, oh, give me an example. Very concrete. Shangri-La Frontier, solo leveling. People have asked, why is Shangri-La Frontier not where solo leveling is at? So Shangri-La Frontier, if you don't know, is just like solo leveling, except it has some things that I feel like hurt it. For one, Sung Jin Woo looks like a model. Like they purposely do that, where it's like, dude looks like a model, has the aura, all these different things, right? You look at
Hmm.
the main character of Shangri-La Frontier, it's a dude that wears a bird mask. He doesn't wear a shirt. He probably runs around. It look like he stink. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the main character
Yeah,
is more of like a warrior looking guy, and it's not somebody where women are gonna go crazy over him that are casuals, and you're not gonna have guys that are like, I want to be that character and stuff, because he looks like a half bird man or something like that, right?
got you.
And,
It's
and
easy
there's
to
other
go to
things
a
too,
Comic
but
Con and be a Sun Jin Woo versus almost a Birdman, for sure, for
yeah.
sure.
So
So I
that's what
got you.
separates it. So like people will ask that, and it's like, hey, is that? And I watched Shangri-La Frontier. What I fell off with it. The reason why I fell off, and the reason why I didn't fall off with solo leveling, is because solo leveling it checks all of those boxes, and it gives all of the stuff that people want that somebody else would say is a cheap thing. It give you
I
a
got a
few
question for you.
girls, it give you the fights, it give you the lights. That's it.
So I had this thought, and I'm pretty sure it's somewhere on Instagram or social media somewhere,
Uh-huh.
and I'm starting to think that there are archetypes to anime watchers, like
Mm.
like DBZ and Solo Leveling. Somebody catch your hands. I love it. The reason why
Mhm.
Attack on Titan kind of dragged a little bit. It started off hot, dragged a little bit, and then it
Mhm.
got right back hot. And I'm
Yeah.
starting to notice with myself, even with I'm like, if somebody catching hands, and if you leave the story alone, if somebody catching hands, I'm watching it. I'm there.
Mhm.
And I'm like, but I've had conversation with people, and it's like there's anime where there's sports, basketball, hockey,
Yeah.
football, and I'm like, I can't watch that. And they're like,
Mhm.
bro, you ain't even gave it a chance yet. And I'm like,
Yeah. Well, I
you
gotta
right?
ask you that. Did you give it a chance?
I did not yet, not
You
yet.
gotta give it.
I have not yet.
Try a Blue Lock. Blue Lock is great.
I have not yet. And I'm just like, maybe, but there are archetypes to
Mhm.
people who watch anime. And maybe I'm putting myself in a box where it's like, okay, yeah, I watch Jujutsu Kaisen. It's fighting over here. It's My Hero Academia. It's fighting, but it's fighting from a student perspective
So
almost.
you are putting yourself in a box. I did the same thing. I was in a
Mm-hmm.
box. I forced myself out of that. I
Right.
was around all of the people I told you about, Poppy Smiles, Craftsman Tim, Black Boma, Anime Addict. I was around them, and they watched more stuff, way more
Okay.
stuff. And
Gotcha.
I was being on this show, the Live at 5 that we have on IG every day. I'm having conversations with them, and I'm realizing like that my picks and my ideas aren't standing up to them, and because they have a more broad
Mm-hmm.
they have a more broad like pool to pull from. So now when I'm saying something is good and they're like, okay, they're pulling from all these different animes and opinions and stuff. Now, you know that because it's better, it's easier to have an opinion on something when like I can say which is the best cake when I've tasted all of these cakes. I can say which is the best
Facts.
wine when I've drank all of these wines. I don't have to be a connoisseur really, but it's like when you
You
start to
have to
talk
have a
about that.
palate.
Exactly. I feel like when you start to talk about things, you have to know more. But you can still. It doesn't mean you can't still have an opinion. It just means I
Right.
feel like it gives your opinion more merit when you do. So I'll say as far as that, there are archetypes because a certain person is gonna lean more towards this, and a certain person is gonna lean more towards trying to watch more animes and stuff. But every anime, and people can sit here and argue all you want, but it's the statistics. Every anime that blows up, it blows up because it catches the attention and it captivates the casuals. The casuals decide what anime blows up.
One
It's
Piece.
just simply, yeah, exactly. The casuals decide. Is there going to be hardcore fans who have watched anime since they were 2 years old in there? Yes. But if you don't have the casuals, it doesn't blow up. So when something gets on a roll like that, it's because it caught the casuals' attention. And you know what the casuals like? They like they like they like lights, fights, women, and quick stuff. They don't like to sit there and think.
If you don't know, this is Destiny. He's really good at podcasting, and you should go check him out because he cooking. He's smoking. He is smoking. That's a fact. The
Thank you, thank
casuals
you.
do. The casuals do push absolutely, absolutely, and it makes me think that maybe I'm not only too hard on myself, but hard on people who are casual. I have a buddy, and all he does is watch One Piece. Like that, and I kind of hate on him a little bit. But then when I look at it, I'm like, you might have friends that's like, you ain't even got a palate this big. You really can't hate on a person who got a palate this big when your palate is this big and everybody else watching
Now
romantic
you're right
romantic
though.
stuff.
You went out for a little bit.
Oh, my bad. You good?
Oh, it's out for a while. You still with me? I'm gonna show. Uh-oh. Is it me or is it you? Well, I'm gonna show off these in the meantime. Till I get you back. Is it me? I want to check my thing.
I'm pretty sure I muted myself. You got me?
I wish I could see the comments so I could see everybody cursing me out.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Now. Yeah, you back. You back.
Yeah, I think I just muted myself. I don't know how I did it. It literally said mute, but we back.
But what I was saying was the like you if somebody just decides they just gonna watch Dragon Ball, it's like you can do that. The only thing is now when it's time to talk about other stuff, it's gonna be like it would be hard to be a podcaster if that's all you talk about, right? Because now when other topics come up, you know. But the reason like that what I'm focused on here is like people will come to you and they will say, "Yo, man, this anime is only blowing up because they got fight scenes in it, bro." Like, or they only blowing up because they got this girl, or they got animation, bro. That's like going to because that's what people like. That's like going to a burger place and being like, yo, man, this burger only blowing up because it got that sauce that everybody like on it.
It's called Big Mac sauce. Of course, that's why they
It's
getting
like
it.
people like it, so they put what people like on it. Like it's a real redundant thing to say it's only good because it has the thing that everybody likes. Yes, we know, bro. So that other anime that you like a lot that's not doing that, hey, it's cool to still like it, but I want you to understand that it's making a decision not to be what everybody likes, and that's cool.
One thing I will say, having this podcast made me grow up from an anime perspective real quick,
Uh-huh.
really quick, just because you meet different people and their top fives is different. And anytime you hear something different, you're like, well, tell me a little bit more about that. And then when
Uh-huh.
people start talking about it, you get intrigued and you want to know why you put that in your top five.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really big on storytelling. Like I said, I want to see people catch hands, uh,
Mm-hmm.
just because I'm always on the go all the time. You know, I
Yeah.
have a job. I'm trying to run this business, and if I'm not locked in, like episode one, and somewhere along the lines, like it's really hard for me. I'm trying. I'm really trying, people, to just
Yeah.
keep consistent with One Piece. But it's like Skypea, we end up in Skypea. There's a lot of talking. Next thing you know, I got to be at work, and next thing
Uh-huh.
you know, you get into a show like a Solo Leveling or the Attack on Titan, where there's so many people fighting. You just locked into that. I could be in the break room watching fighting scenes, going, oh, just getting hyped. But
Yeah.
you have to really listen and lock in on some of these shows, because from what I'm understanding, there's a lot of Easter eggs in One Piece,
Yeah.
and you can't just pick up at any point and watch it. You have to watch the whole thing and really pick that up. So I think just having conversations with you and other people that come on is putting the perspective back in where it needs to be. Like, hey, you get out of Shonen Brain. You got a word for it. Get out of Shonen Brain. Let's go somewhere else. So you got a recommendation for me. I asked my boy Iz to recommend one for me like 30 minutes ago, but I'm gonna take your recommendation and I'm gonna start that tonight. And then
Oh
I'll
man.
begin them and I'll let you know. And I'll let you know. But my
Yeah, I
question for
appreciate
you,
that. I appreciate
my-
that. Yeah. Forget is recommendation. Go.
I mean, I wish I had time to just watch. Like, it is so hard, bro, just to go from anime to anime. It's difficult. I want to, but until I can turn this into a business and you get paid to do it, it's like it's virtually impossible.
Yeah.
Like I'm a gamer, like I'm a gamer too, and I like
Mhm.
gaming. So I can't game, watch anime, and you can do both. But if you locked into one, you're gonna neglect the other one for a second.
Mhm.
So, but I guess my next question for you would be, um, has anime taught you anything about yourself?
Oh yeah. Um, Anime has taught me like a lot about myself. For one, I use it a lot. I'm one of those people that I'm gonna like compare, and my brain, I that's the comedian brain, because a lot of that's how you get the funny of like switching things, and this is like this and that's like that, and you make a funny comparison, and people are like, oh, I never looked at it that way. I'm That's how my brain works, just period. So when I look at a lot of different things, like I have tattooed on my arm, I have you watch Hunter x Hunter, right?
Yeah,
So I have the Gone pose by my boy
this one.
yep. Yep, I have it tattooed on my arm, and the reason why is because that might have been small to everybody else, but to me it was like, yo, the
I'm
focus,
locked the fuck in,
the focus
locked
in that
in.
moment, like that's where we all need to be, like focused, locked in on the thing. So like I think about that when I look at like, yo, of just being completely locked in, or Dragon Ball where they're constantly fighting and competing with each other to get stronger, and how it bothers them when they like see somebody else, like people will look at Vegeta. I don't think Vegeta is a hater. I when I look at it, I say, yo, he just sees something and he's like, I want to get stronger. So when he sees something, it's like, yo, now I want to get stronger because I saw this thing. I want to get stronger because I saw this thing. That's a rival. Whenever I see rivals in like Black
Football,
Clover,
basketball, yeah,
Black Clover has the same type of situation. I love Black Clover because of that. Because it's like they were brothers, were not beefing with each other, but every time they didn't see each other for a while. Every time they saw each other, it was like, what can you do now? Oh, you could do that? Well, I could do this. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I see you in a few months, man. And it was each time it was like, I would love to have that type of like relationship with somebody where every time we see each other, it's no hate, but it's like I'm going to beat you in life and
yeah,
I'm working my hardest to do it. So I just
for sure.
there's so many things in anime that just hit me like that.
I got you. One of mine is the usual Goku. Like every single time you think he's done, he's never done. He's never done. He wasn't done in Dragon Ball. He wasn't done in Dragon Ball Z. Not in GT. Like, and I know some people get tired of the cycle of the power system and everything. But I think as a kid growing up, especially what with watching anime, and it was rare back in those days. You could kind of take that message of never quit, never give up. You know, what would Goku do in this situation? Let me get back in the gym. I would have to one of the best anime poses. That locked in pose is everywhere, and it's scary. Even for him to be a kid, it's like fuck around and find out. Like
Yo,
like he was.
I got it right
I'm
here.
gonna watch you fuck around. Yeah, fuck around and find out. Yeah, hell yeah. So I'm with it. Now, I think I know the answer to this for you, but I do not want to assume if you two-part question. A, if you had to train with an anime character, who would it be?
I would be Vegeta.
What? How can you that? Now that I know what I know, Sun Jin Woo.
What'd you say?
Sun Jin Woo. I'm gonna go with him.
Oh, okay.
Just because
He's not going to care about you, bro. Like he's going to Sung
no,
Woo is going
wait.
to leave you
I
somewhere.
don't know. I don't know. Because he showed us that basically I forgot the young girl name because I'm just now watching it. The young girl name who
Oh,
was rated E.
nobody remembers anybody's name in solo leveling unless it's Sung Jin Woo or Champion Woo.
Okay. All right,
Nobody remembers.
cool. But the young lady who was E rated
Yeah.
and she wanted to be this, and he took her along to say, okay, I think that there is some heart in him. I know he's lost a lot of himself, but this is a person that was a rated E who had to literally fight for every single thing he had. Not saying that Goku didn't, not saying that Vegeta didn't, or Gon, or anybody else, but I'm just saying you had he's almost the story. I know there's comparisons, but it's literally the story between Sun Jin Woo and the main character from My Hero Academia. They were
Deku.
almost given something. Yeah, they was almost given something. So your fight is a little different.
Yeah, but all right. So when he took the girl in there, like first of all, they forced him to do it. They forced him to do it, and what happened is it's like he just kind of like told her to watch. His whole point was like telling her to watch. But what I'm saying is, you talking about training. Training is a different thing.
That's true.
Sung Jin Woo would not. Sung Jin Woo would do
Neither
his
was
best.
Vegeta though.
Vegeta,
Vegeta.
Vegeta's gonna, but see, Vegeta for one has trained already. Vegeta is going to be hard on me and beat me up. So I'm good with that because I'm that type of person. I'm actually the
Gotcha.
type of person that when I'm around people don't I want that type of person. A lot of times people don't like that with me, where they're like, "Oh, you're too harsh, you're too this," or like I speak too harsh, or like I'm talking like people like in my like personal life that are like around me, and I'm always like, "Listen, time is important, super important to me." And he has that same type of personality of like, listen, we gonna do this or we not gonna do this. What's up? Like, and then you're gonna be sitting there like you ready, and then 2 seconds later, boom, he just he just gut punched you. You know what I'm saying? I can respect
Gotcha.
that. Let's get it. Let's do it. But Sung Jin Woo, I feel like if I had to think about it, if he's training with you, they forced him to do it. First of all, because he's a loner, and then if he is training with you, I feel like he's going to try to lose you as much as he can. So he's not really trying to. You'll get training kind of like by watching him and just being on your own. But he's one of those people that I feel like he's just so disassociated from you that I don't know. I mean, hey, it might be fun just to be around you. You'll learn something from being around anybody. That's
yeah. He's definitely in it for himself first. He's always thinking, how can I level up off of this? You know what I mean?
He don't care about nobody but his sister and his mom.
That's it. That's it, and that's all. I think the right answer for me was going to be Master Roshi because he's the foundation of all of it. But
Yeah.
Sun Jin Woo got my heart right now. I'm sorry. Recency bias. I'm
You got
sorry.
recency bias. You got
I'm
recency
sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So, who is your greatest anime villain of all time?
Somebody literally just asked me that, and it was crazy because I had no idea before they asked me that question. But it's Toji.
Break that down.
Toji is from JJK. Toji is cold, man. Like, so to me, I rock with him because Toji, I don't know, like he wasn't. You have a lot of villains where I feel like a lot of times, first of all, they just beating up on little 8-year-olds. That's like the first thing. They just running around. Like, yo, how old are you? Oh, you kind of powerful, man. Yo, how old are you? Like 6? Let's get it. Like, it's like they can't wait to get it rocking. Where my gloves at? I just realized I ain't have my gloves on. They can't wait to get it rocking with with a 6-year-old. So that's a lot of times that's what takes it out of me for them. Also, I don't know. They start to feel kind of cheesy sometimes. It's either they're cheesy or they go way overboard. And it's like they're just doing some real crazy, nefarious stuff where I could never even say that was my favorite villain. But yeah, it's Toji. Toji is cold. Toji, like, don't care. Also, Toji has some of the best entrances too in JJK. He's just cold with it.
Okay. I'm going to go with a collective. And I'm going to say in Demon Slayer because in Demon Slayer they gave you the why.
Yeah.
They gave you the why. And sometimes you almost kind of like sided with the villains when they got done telling their story. And I'm just like, I kind of get him. Like the one guy, he had his sister. His sister was beautiful, and he was not the greatest looking person in the world. And somebody mistreated his sister. But then when you start getting into the why of every single villain, you just like, I understand why he would do that. I understand. They didn't want to be a menace. It's like life put them in this situation where you became a product of your environment. Mm-hmm. And so many times we see villains who end up basically doing things for power or they do things because of greed. In Demon Slayer, outside of the lore, the super low ranks, but they just wanted to be accepted so much that their trauma pushed them to become a bad person. And you could probably tell me because your palate is a little bit wider than mine. There's not too many villains that give you a stronger why. Frieza's just an asshole. Yeah. He wants to enslave everybody. He's an asshole. Simple. All right, I got you. My Hero Academia, when we really get into it, it's a power thing. Mm-hmm. But people being mistreated and having trauma, I'm a rock with that. With that.
Demon Slayer, like there is other like animes that do that. Demon Slayer did it with everyone. So in the beginning, I didn't like that they did that, but I do understand that like with Demon Slayer, and Dandadan started doing the same thing. Honestly, I didn't even really think about that till recently because I don't like Dandadan, so I didn't really like focusing on it. But it literally,
you're not alone,
huh?
You're not alone. I love the intro.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like, to me,
It's
Dandadan is
weird.
not
It's a
yeah,
little weird.
it's not an anime that I'm trying to watch as a grown man, but I'm not doing it. But they've done Dandadan is kind of basically like a weird demon slayer because they see these people, oh, you got a sad story, and they're like, oh, the only thing is that I realize it's kind of funny that most of the characters just don't care in Dandadan, whereas in Demon Slayer, they actually care. Like they're actually like, oh man, that's messed up. This happened with your life. He's kind of like laying them all to rest. Uh, and it's
Yeah,
very
that
similar.
little part. That little part is a little. You don't have to be empathetic with every single one of them. You
Yeah, but
don't like.
that's his personality.
Yeah,
It wouldn't have, so they create these with these main characters where they try to give you this personality of a main character who is just so unbelievably them. Because
yeah,
nobody, like, you wouldn't even meet nobody in real life that's like a Goku or like a Tanjiro or a Deku that's like that pure hearted, and you just sat here and got it on with this person that destroyed millions of people, and it's like, oh, you lost your ball, oh my god, sorry, I hope you you did it all because of this, like, there's so many jokes about it because it's super exaggerated, but that's the case with that. Fire Force is very similar to that too, where when they do stuff, that's why I said it's like that's something, because if you ever watch Fire Force is the same exact way. Somebody that's doing something, but this person used to be a regular person, and they just are who they are now, but they weren't like that before. So the Fire Force is like a religious group. So when they come, it's like they have an actual nun that's there, and she's like this, doing the hand signal, and they do Latom, and they do a whole prayer.
how do you search for these? Like, do you just go through Crunchyroll and say that one,
Now
or is
people
it
put me on. It's
okay?
being in the community. So like ever since when I went to Anime NYC, I met my boy Poppy Smiles. It's just being connected. So like a lot
Hmm.
of these, like, we're older, right? So like a lot of these people grew up on these first of all. So you were in a day and time where it was Toonami. I was the same. So this streaming thing is like the new thing, but it's also, you got stuff like YouTube. So if you follow certain creators, like you said with the whole networking thing, I know
Right.
stuff because I follow certain creators. Like I follow news pages. So just like how when something happens in basketball, you're gonna know about it. If something happens in rap, you're gonna know about it if you follow Shade Room.
Gotcha.
It's the same. I follow the Shade Room for anime. So anime news guy is a guy on IG.
Go,
Yeah.
go.
So if you follow his page, you're gonna know about everything that's coming. So like right now, I'm streaming over on TikTok. I be cosplaying and stuff, but I'm watching Fire Force because I'm catching up on Fire Force for the new season that's supposed to be coming about like April 6th or 7th or something like that. So I'm binging like this so that I could watch that. So like this is my full-time job, is doing
Mm.
this. So, so I get time to sit there and watch it, but there's so many people because they grew up on it that they've been seeing this. I'm late. They be like, "Yo, you ain't watched this yet?" I'm mad late. I'm unk, but they grew up
Yeah.
on it. They watched the whole thing already.
So I got two more questions for you, and I'm gonna get out your way. And these are going to be two interesting questions. The first question, I think you answered it a little bit, but I'm going to see if you can dig a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
What unpopular opinion do you have that's going to cause people to reach through the screen and want to fight you?
Um,
Because you got to have one. You watched enough content. You're in the community. You have these conversations with your friends.
I got
Whether
one.
it's black, okay, let's go.
That there's no such thing as spoiling in anime.
Like telling somebody to end without them seeing it. That type of spoiler.
There's no such thing as spoil. You can't spoil somebody in anime. You can't spoil. You can't. The first part is you can't spoil somebody in anime. That's my first thing, and the second part would be that you I would make sure. Hold on. Oh, I mean, I didn't even know I was screen recording this whole time. That's a long ass screen record.
Your memory is gone. It's out.
Yeah, word. I'm gonna have to chop that right now. But yeah. So the first part is because I was about to screen record this. I already did. But so the first part is that there's no such thing as spoiling, and the second thing is that we need to stop. We need to stop the whole spoiling culture, and we need to just just be able to read and talk about anime, and that's it. So this is why. So spoiling. If you look up the reason why it's called spoiling and just the whole term of spoiling, it's because milk. If you spoil milk, if food is spoiled, I can't consume it. I can't enjoy this anymore. It is now poisonous. It would hurt me.
I see where you're going.
To have this, right? So, if I tell you right now what happens in Demon Slayer because I finished it, or in JJK because I finished it, or Solo Leveling, if I was to tell you right now what happens in the last chapter, guess what? You would still watch it. You would still enjoy it too.
For sure.
You would still enjoy it. You would still watch it. The only thing is you wouldn't have the surprise. So I would have diminished a little bit of the surprise that you would have of seeing what happened, but it isn't spoiled because spoiled means you can't consume it. The reason why they use spoiled with movies, which we've now adopted in the anime and it shouldn't be in the anime community, the reason why they've said spoiled is because in movies, movies are linear, which means the movies used to be about and are about the ending. It's not about the journey. So if I tell you, hey, she is an alien, now you don't watch the movie because you know everything that's going to happen. There's no point in going on that journey. In anime, it's not like that. Unless they have an anime that's more cinematic like that, but these animes are not like that. It's just that if I tell you about a transformation, if I tell you about a secret that they're gonna say about some type of power system, that literally is just a part, and you would still enjoy all of the fight scenes that happen between that. You would enjoy all of the slice of life moments. You would still enjoy it. So we make a big deal out of spoilers, and now a lot of creators can't talk about things that they would like to talk about, maybe from reading the manga and stuff, and it holds back the community. And the spoilers don't even do that.
I'm gonna tell the creators to keep creating and keep being dope. I'm agreeing with you. The whole spoiler thing is a lazy way of saying, "Don't tell me." Well, now it's my individual job to make sure you catch up whenever you catch up, and then I can put out content. That's not fair. That ain't fair. Because to be honest with you, if we know anything about social media, there's a trend. So if whatever episode comes out, you got probably a 48-hour window to talk about that said thing, to ride that wave. So now I got to worry about Joe Schmo not watching it to miss out on that wave. So I completely understand that. Yeah. Now, last question. I did not put this on the list because I wanted to see if you could think on your toes. Mm-hmm. If you had to create an anime, you are an anime creator, what would the theme be and what would the story be about?
If I had to create an anime, I used to be a visual artist, and they asked me to do it from time to time. So I used to draw manga, and I used to create my own manga and stuff. So I already kind of know about certain stuff. So
this boy good. He's good.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you
don't tell me too. If you got something in the pipeline that you're working on, I don't want. Do not tell me. Don't tell me.
I'll tell you about some other stuff. I probably would want to make something. So after what I already have in my mind, the thing I would be most passionate about is doing something that has no powers, that is regular. So after Death Note, the creators of Death Note made Bakuman. Bakuman is an anime about two kids that decided to make a manga. So they create and they made it entertaining. It's literally you reading a manga about kids making a manga, and it's a good manga. So to me, that's true. That's true talent when you can make something like that entertaining. There's no fights. Sure. There's none of that, but it's entertaining. I know why it didn't go mainstream. I'm not one of the people that are gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, I don't know why it didn't blow up," because it don't got no fights in it, bro. They right. Drawing, you know what I'm saying? Some kids in the room writing and drawing. it's not gonna be entertaining to the casuals, but I find it entertaining as like a hardcore like anime fan. But I would say I would probably make something that's
I can
about
sub I can substitute the question. I can definitely substitute the question.
no. I
Good.
want to answer that.
Okay.
I would make something about content creation. Like I would make
Mm,
an anime about being a content creator. Either being a content creator or probably an anime about like drawing. Probably would be like interesting to me.
gotcha. Okay. So I will say, and I will ask in this in closing, do
Uh-huh.
you think anime has changed your life and how? That's going to
Oh yeah.
be that's going to be the pin drop moment where I'm gonna give you the runway. How has anime changed your life?
Oh no, it has changed my life like 100,000%. For one, I feel like there's a lot of different like messages and morals and just all of those different things that are in anime that I don't feel like are in everything else all the time. I feel like it's there. I can draw in certain movies that have certain stuff, but anime just has it's an all immersive type thing. Like if I go watch a movie, right, and I like it and it's like let's say something like I don't know, Lucy, right? And I like Lucy. It's like if I go dress up as one of the characters from Lucy, I just look like a regular ass person, and people not even
Right.
gonna know what I'm dressing up as. Like, oh, you're the cop from Lucy? I wouldn't even know. It's not as iconic. Me being able to cosplay, being able to talk about it, me being able to buy the statues of it. Anime is just so much more immersive into it. So now when I get that same type of message that I might get from another anime, I also get to like live that message because somebody going to the gym with a Goku shirt on means something. You know what I'm saying? Like it means
Facts.
something to that guy. It's motivation. You get Boma got anime tattoos all over her body right now. It's like that
Shout out to
means
Boma.
yeah. Yo, listen. When I say and that right there, I gotta let be known is that I've learned so much from her, and also the people I've met. When I came home from doing my time, right? Uh one of the first people, like you were saying, like when you got into it, like seeing my content, one of the first people I followed was her, and I tell her the story to this day. She's one of the first people I followed, and now I do content with her, right, and do lives and shows and talk to her on an almost daily basis. And she was somebody who I looked up to. Who, when I had 5 followers, when I was getting 2 likes, I was checking
Right.
out her page. So to see that changed and all of that was due to anime, and I get to talk to cool people and learn from cool people like her and all the other people that I'm with on the show, and all the celebrities that like I used to listen to their music and stuff, and now they follow and I talk to them and stuff.
Sauce.
It's like, and all of that's because of anime, and it connects. Like,
Yeah.
one person to say real quick, Slim Jimmy from Ray Shrimmet, he was on the
I ain't
show.
got a type. Hey, that is the only thing that I like. Hey, that's
He
what's
an
up,
anime
man.
fan. It's crazy.
But you would never know these things because people, and I don't want to say people, but the general public on the outside looking in, they look at it like these guys and gals are watching cartoons. But then when you really get into the community, I remember, I now just tell a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about me. One of the best moments I had was taking my niece to a Comic Con. I didn't tell her where we were going. I just said, we're going to go to Comic Con. She said, Comic Con, what's that? And she got there and her eyes lit up. And she was like, you didn't tell me I could dress up. Like it was one of the most wholesome moments
That's amazing.
that I had. And she took pictures with everybody, Master Chief, Power Rangers, Goku, everybody. And now every time it comes around, when I say Comic Con, she say, yeah. And she wants to dress up. So that moment for me is like, yo, just to see that kid's eyes light up walking into C2E2 and literally watching people dress up. She was so angry, passionately angry, because I did not tell her that she can dress up. And I was like, you didn't even know what it was. What do you mean? But now you know. Now you know. Your first one was 8 years old. I didn't even get to go to a Comic-Con until late 20s, and I'm 34 now.
Yeah.
So that's dope. But unless you got anything else for me, tell the people where they can follow you.
Destiney Brushes, name right there on everything. Yep, there we go. Destiney Brushes on everything. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you see me around. Listen, you see this hat or you see this hair. You know it's me.
He gonna be one of them ones. He's. I think he is in a group that's RDC is at the top right now, right? I got nothing but love. RDC is one of those. They're a group of collective that helped motivated me as well to kind of do this. But then when you go down, Trapped in Anime, Indianapolis, dope as shit. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the cat too. But the group that they're putting together are going to be dope as hell. So shout out to Poppy, Black Boma, Destiney, all of that crew. I think they're going to do tremendous and big things in the industry. And I just sit back sometimes and I watch and I learn and I listen. And even for me to have this platform to bring people on, to have conversation and to learn and to bring community to myself as well. So unless you got something else for the people, we're about to be up out of here. I thank you guys. I appreciate you guys again for watching. This was the last episode in the first season of Beyond the Blur. We're on the Q2, so get ready for that. Hopefully we can get my man's on in the future if he got some more time. But we're going to be up out of here, ladies and gentlemen, from me to you to everybody else.